Well, congratulations, everybody. You just bought and paid for $14.3 billion for Israel to kill more Palestinians. Yay. Don't we love that? The walls, again, are closing in on Joe Biden. We got some more on that we're going to get into. And they might actually take Trump off the damn ballot. Yeah. They might actually do it. I'm following that case, and they motioned for dismissal today, and it was denied, of course. But it's a funny argument because you would figure they would have to prove insurrection first, like through a court. Like Trump would actually have to be charged with insurrection and him go through the process and him found guilty of insurrection for them to remove him off the ballot for insurrection. The fact that they haven't, this whole thing makes no sense. Like I said in the other video, I understand wanting to take him off, but just get involved with the damn election and make sure he doesn't get in there. If that's what you want to do. The only problem is everybody knows Trump is leading right now, and Trump is going to beat the brakes off of Biden. You know, I've said it before, man. I wish Vivek Ramaswamy was polling like Trump is. I would much rather Vivek Ramaswamy. But I'll take Trump. I ain't gonna lie. I'll take Trump. Things were good under Trump. And I would like for things to be good again. Biden is terrible. We got some more on Biden. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stop my rant and go ahead with this first story right quick because we got a lot to get into, y'all. Speaker Johnson's decision on Biden impeachment articles coming very soon. Check this out. Speaker Mike Johnson said Thursday that the House is nearing a decision on whether to move on articles of impeachment against President Biden. Asked during a press conference if he believes there is enough evidence to move on articles of impeachment against Biden, Johnson said, "I do. I believe that very soon we are coming to a point of decision on it." I think he's already made his decision. He's just not saying it. He later added, "We're going to follow the evidence where it leads and we'll see. And I'm not going to predetermine it this morning." The newly minted speaker, who has constitutional law background, emphasized the importance of due process. "I've been very consistent, intellectually consistent in this, and persistent that we have to follow due process and we have to follow the law," he said. That means following our obligation on the Constitution and doing appropriate investigations in the right way at the right pace so the evidence comes in and we follow the evidence where it leads. You follow the truth where it leads. Former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, before he was ousted from the top job, directed a trio of House committees to open a formal impeachment inquiry based on the GOP conference's investigations into the Biden family foreign business dealings and the prosecution of the president's son, Hunter Biden. McCarthy launched the effort without holding a vote on the House floor, despite earlier saying he would do so, which prompted howls from the Democrats. Johnson sat on one of those panels, the Judiciary Committee, before he assumed the speakership. Yeah, that's right. And I watched a lot of those panels. And the evidence is there, man. We just got to get with the program and get to it. We have to have enough evidence, though, to convince the Senate to vote for impeachment. That's going to be a tough ask. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a real tough ask. Even though they impeached Trump, or, they didn't get the convictions, but the House impeached Trump with, one of them was based off a lie, off of BS. It was a complete sham. The other one was based off of a misinterpretation of a phone call, which was also very stupid. I don't get it, man. The House Oversight and Accountability Committee on Wednesday released the second memo since subpoenaing the personal bank records of Biden family members, including Hunter Biden. The latest includes a $40,000 check Biden's brother James and his wife Sarah labeled as a loan repayment. Right. The panel suggested the repayment made in 2017 while Biden was no longer serving as vice president, which I mentioned yesterday. The article that I read out yesterday didn't mention that whatsoever. So you got to watch some of these news organizations, man. They love leaving little bits and pieces like that out. That's very important if you ask me, because if Joe Biden was just a regular old citizen, wasn't in any kind of office, you have a whole lot less ground to stand on when it comes to impeachment. Because, how can you, whether it was shady or whether it was not, it obviously wasn't illegal. So how the hell can you impeach somebody on something when they weren't in any office? They were just a citizen. So, once again, I really wish Joe Biden was gone. I wish he would go bye-bye. I'm not going to sit here and cheer on impeachment without evidence. We just can't do that. But, I have already said they should go through with impeachment on the basis of dereliction of duty of the southern border. But for some reason, they could care less about that. I think it's an impeachable offense, but obviously they don't. So it was May 2020, while he was no longer vice president, was aided by James Biden's foreign business dealings in China, tracking income that flowed through Hunter Biden's companies before being deposited in one owned by James Biden. But Democrats argued the money shows nothing more than a loan between family members while Biden was not in office. It's a dynamic situation. They said it's also true for an earlier $200,000 loan highlighted by the committee, something CNN found stemmed from Biden's account. As a private citizen, Joe Biden loaned money to his brother, who repaid it 2 months later, House Oversight Democrats wrote on X on Wednesday. House GOP Chair Elise Stefanik highlighted the memo during Thursday's press conference, arguing that the president is clearly compromised and the American people know it. House Republicans will continue to follow the facts to ensure accountability for the American people and deliver legislative results under this new era of leadership with Speaker Mike Johnson, she added. The impeachment inquiry into Biden comes after the House twice impeached then President Trump during his 4 years in office, which enraged GOP lawmakers because it was bullshit. Republicans consistently criticized the effort as a sham and witch hunt and criticized the process by which Democrats worked, which was completely stupid. Johnson on Thursday compared the House GOP's impeachment inquiry to the Democrat-led effort against Trump. Many, Republicans across the country are anxious to get to the end point on this, and I think some Democrats want to know how it ends as well. What you are seeing right now is the deliberate constitutional process that was envisioned by the founders, the framers of the Constitution, he said. This is how they envisioned this to go, not the way the Democrats did it. Snap impeachments, sham impeachments, and all the rest. That's right, sham impeachments. It was bullshit. Complete bullshit. Now, I want to add to that story with a story that it took me a while to find. You won't find it on any mainstream news site at all. And I don't know why. This is kind of important here. It's something you're not hearing about. James Comer, National Archives withholding 99.98% of pages of Joe Biden's alias emails. Yeah, there's like 82,000 emails that the National Archives, or NARA, is withholding from the House Oversight Committee. They're basically blocking the oversight process. This should piss off every single person in America. All right, here we go, y'all. The Biden administration is obstructing the House impeachment inquiry by withholding 99.98% of emails from President Joe Biden, House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer recently said. The emails, thousands of which are under aliases, are in the possession of the National Archives and are relevant to the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. The alias accounts raise concern because they are unusual, suspicious, and shady, experts and lawmakers previously told Breitbart News. The use of a private email for official business is discouraged by law. Yeah, so Biden is using several different aliases in these emails accounts. I wonder why. I wonder if it has anything to do with his loan repayments from his family. That somehow being out of a job and only making 100-something thousand a year as a senator seemed to be able to loan out a few $100,000 here and there like it ain't nothing. That's all very suspicious. But let's keep going with this because it gets interesting. The National Archives has identified 82,000 pages of emails where then Vice President Joe Biden used a fake name, but the Biden White House has only cleared 14 pages in response to multiple oversight committee requests for documents related to then Vice President Biden. The lack of transparency from the self-identified most transparent administration in history is looking more like obstruction every day, he continued. Congress needs full access to these records and others as part of our investigation into Joe Biden and the Biden family's corruption. The House Oversight Committee will continue to use the power of the gavel to obtain records necessary to our investigation, he concluded. Via the Freedom of Information Act or FOIA request status report, the archives divulged on Monday 82,000 pages of emails from private alias accounts that Joe Biden sent or received during his vice presidency. The 82,000 pages appear to match the previous trove of 5,400 emails and records linked to Joe Biden's email aliases reported in August. So this isn't even official Joe Biden emails. This is alias emails. On top, it's like, the Hillary Clinton 30-something thousand emails. That ain't nothing. Joe Biden's got that by 2.5 times. Joe Biden uses aliases Robert Peters, Robert Ware, J.R.B. Ware. Joe Biden also used a fourth alias to communicate with his family in 2010, Breitbart News reported in September. Wow. So this is all just very, very hyper suspicious, if you ask me. And why they're withholding these records is very interesting, too. It's like the Biden administration is trying to cover itself up, obviously, right? So, there's some obvious underhanded crap going on here. So, the fact that they won't give access to the Oversight Committee is very, very alarming, if you ask me, because that is what Congress is supposed to be for, is oversight of the executive branch, to make sure the executive branch doesn't become some sort of dictatorship, right? So if there's no oversight, then we're not in charge, people. If we cannot figure out what Joe Biden has been doing, hey, this all may be a witch hunt, right? It all may just look suspicious. If it is a witch hunt, go ahead, give us access to these records. Let us see everything, Joe. How about that, huh? If there's nothing to find, if you never took any money from any foreign business dealings, then why not let the Oversight Committee do their damn job and look into this and waste everybody's time? How about that, Joe? You're wasting billions of taxpayer dollars on Ukraine and all this other dumb crap that you want to do. Withholding auction for drilling offshore rights. Yeah, that was another story I read. This administration, I'm telling you, man, I could rail on this crap all damn day. From opening the border to putting informants into the Catholic churches because they see Catholic people as extremists or something, to calling parents domestic terrorists. The list just goes on and on and on. And Joe Biden is got to be one of the most corrupt-looking presidents we've ever had. In my personal opinion, now this is getting into opinion, my personal opinion, Joe Biden, the Biden crime family is a serious title. No bullshit. I seriously believe that. I think, and to be fair, I think Trump has some skeletons in his closet as well. That's why I would rather both of them just gone, put Vivek Ramaswamy in there, let him kill off the Department of Education, because what are they doing anyway, and be done with it. By the way, leave a comment if you think we should kill off the Department of Education. But I could rail on this all day long, but that's all I got for this one, y'all. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think about all this crap going on with Joe Biden, all this corruption, all this appearance of corruption, and why the hell they're not letting the oversight committee go through these emails. I am very curious to know what you guys think. Don't forget, smash that like button. If you don't mind, I sure would appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, by chance, hit that subscribe button too. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, which is every single day, it'll come up in your feed and you can know about it. And don't forget to have a good day and be positive. Peace.